The sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the quiet suburban neighborhood on the 4th of July. As darkness settled in, the air buzzed with anticipation, and the distant echoes of firework pops signaled the beginning of the patriotic celebration. Little did I know that this Independence Day would unfold into a nightmarish tale beyond the shimmering lights and festive cheers. I joined the neighbors at the annual block party, where the smell of barbecue wafted through the air and laughter mingled with the crackling of sparklers. The sense of community enveloped me, and I reveled in the joyous atmosphere. Yet, as the first bursts of fireworks lit up the sky, a subtle unease crept over me like a shadow. The festivities took a peculiar turn when an old man clad in tattered clothes approached me. His eyes, a milky white, stared into my soul, and his voice carried a haunting whisper that sent a chill down my spine. "Beware the light that conceals the shadows," he muttered, his words laden with a cryptic warning. Dismissing his words as the ramblings of an eccentric local, I continued to enjoy the celebration. As the night deepened, the fireworks grew more spectacular, painting the sky with vibrant colors. However, a strange pattern emerged. Each explosion seemed to cast elongated shadows that danced on the edges of my vision. Curiosity overcame me, and I followed the ethereal shadows to a secluded corner of the neighborhood. There, hidden from the revelry, I stumbled upon a dilapidated colonial-era house bathed in an eerie, flickering light. The air grew colder, and an unsettling stillness replaced the jubilant sounds of the block party. Inside the house, antique furniture draped in white sheets lined the dimly lit rooms. A foreboding presence clung to the air, and an old, weathered photograph on the wall drew me in. The people in the picture wore colonial attire, their stern faces frozen in time. Among them, I spotted the old man who had given me the cryptic warning. A distant rumble of thunder echoed through the silent house, and the photograph seemed to come to life. The eyes of the figures bore into mine, accusing and tormented. The flickering light intensified, casting twisted shadows that contorted into grotesque shapes. Panicked, I tried to leave, but the door slammed shut with an otherworldly force. The temperature plummeted and ghostly whispers filled the air, recounting tales of betrayal and sorrow that echoed through the centuries. The flickering light coalesced into a spectral figure draped in colonial attire, the embodiment of the old man's warning. His hollow eyes fixed on me, and with a mournful gaze, he revealed the truth. The shadows of the past sought retribution for forgotten sins. As the clock struck midnight, the colonial house collapsed into darkness and the oppressive presence lifted. I found myself back at the block party, the festive atmosphere unchanged. The old man had vanished, leaving behind a lingering sense of dread. Haunted by the spectral warning and the shadows of history, I watched the fireworks illuminate the sky. Little did the revelers know that beneath the dazzling display of lights, the ghosts of Independence Days long past walked among them, seeking redemption for the sins that history had buried in the shadows. Each explosion marked not only the birth of a nation, but also the restless spirits yearning for justice from the depths of time. The celebration continued, but the shadows lingered, weaving a silent narrative of a history not forgotten. The air crackled with anticipation as the sun dipped below the horizon on the 4th of July. I stood among the lively crowd gathered on the riverbank, eager for the fireworks extravaganza that would soon light up the night sky. Little did I know that the celebratory colors would unveil a nightmarish truth hidden behind the patriotic spectacle. As the first fireworks soared into the heavens, a strange luminescence caught my eye. It wasn't part of the planned display. Instead, it seemed to emanate from an abandoned house on the outskirts of the riverbank. Intrigued, I followed the ghostly glow, leaving behind the cheerful chatter of the revelers. The once grand mansion stood veiled in shadows, its windows like vacant eyes peering into the void. As I approached, the mysterious light pulsed in sync with my racing heartbeat. The front door creaked open of its own accord, inviting me into the abyss within. Reluctantly, I stepped into the darkness. The air inside hung heavy with a strange energy, and an unsettling silence replaced the distant sounds of the celebration. Flickering candles lined the grand staircase, casting dancing shadows that seemed to mimic the chows outside. Ascending the stairs, the haunting glow intensified, leading me to a forgotten chamber. At the end of the hallway, the room was adorned with tattered American flags and antique furniture draped in dusty sheets. In the center stood an old phonograph, its needle scratching against a vinyl record as if playing a mournful dirge. The glow coalesced into the form of a spectral figure, draped in the remnants of a tattered military uniform. The ghostly apparition reached out with translucent hands, and a series of haunting images flashed before my eyes. Battles fought in the name of freedom, soldiers lost to the ravages of war, and a long-forgotten sacrifice buried beneath the grandeur of the nation's celebration. The ghostly figure spoke without words, its eyes filled with an unspeakable sorrow. It revealed the untold stories of soldiers who had given everything for a country that had long forgotten their sacrifice. As the clock struck midnight, the room reverberated with the anguished cries of the forgotten souls. The haunting revelation left me breathless as I stumbled back into the night. The once vibrant fireworks now seemed like mocking apparitions, each burst a reminder of the unspoken horrors hidden behind the facade of celebration. The revelers continued to cheer, oblivious to the spectral truths that lingered in the shadows. Haunted by the ghostly encounter, I returned to the riverbank. The night sky glittered with bursts of red, white, and blue, but the colors now held a darker significance. The 4th of July, a day meant for celebration, had become a canvas for the ghosts of the past to paint their tragic tales, reminding me that freedom came at a price, and the spirits of those who paid it demanded to be heard amid the festive cacophony. As the echoes of the fireworks faded, a haunting melody filled the air, the same mournful dirge played by the old phonograph. It was as if the spirits of the forgotten soldiers had found a way to weave their stories into the very fabric of the celebration. The revelers, oblivious to the spectral presence, dispersed into the night, leaving me alone with the echoes of history and the chilling realization that the 4th of July, while a day of jubilation, could also be a haunting requiem for the sacrifices that time had buried but not forgotten.